Hello, everyone. It's Travis here with my video blog, Life and Times, here at Ross University School of Medicine. Today is Sunday, May 6th, and it's my very last day before I start class. Classes begin tomorrow. Haven't visited with you in a while, so I thought I would um, just share some thoughts from the past week and kind of where my head is today. Let's see. This past week we had orientation all week. Orientation was good. It was good. It was a good presentation. As you can imagine, a big variety of things related to matriculation, policies, life at the university, life in Dominica here, how to best navigate that, and how to navigate that in a professional way. Orientation was good. We only basically had half-day orientations. We did have some activities on some of the afternoons. Some of them were tours of the island, and we had to sign up for lockers and things like that. Vendor fair, that kind of thing. But all in all, it was a good week. Fairly relaxing. I tried to relax as much as I could. About Thursday, my anxiety had reached a boiling point, shall we say. They spent a lot of time, helping us understand what our class load was going to be like and what the pressure of being in medical school was going to be like. We heard from several professors, and kind of gave us a rough draft, if you will, of the class load. And those of you who have been through medical school, you understand. Or any professional education program, you understand. By Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, I was at a tipping point. I was at a point to where I was like, what in the world do I think I'm doing here? I mean, do I really have the goods to make it through medical school? And I had my doubts. I had my doubts big time. So I was sitting in the student lounge at our apartments here, and several students were in there, and I kind of just threw it out there. I just confessed to the folks. Got some good friends here. I've met some really good people here, and got some good encouragement. One young lady said, "You know what? If you're not feeling that, then something's probably wrong. We all are feeling something like that. If you're not feeling that, maybe you're overconfident. If you're not feeling that, if you're not sensing that." So I felt a little better, but not much after after that little exchange or interchange. But the very next morning was essentially some final remarks. We heard from some former students. We heard from some current students, and everybody has advice on how to make it. And a lot of it was good advice, very good advice, I think. But the dean of student services, I think she's the dean, Dr. Schrader or Schroeder. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She read something that I want to share with you. I have it here. I asked her for a copy of it, and the eyes of all wait upon thee, and thou givest them meat in due season. God knows how to speak to you when you need to hear from Him. And what she read was exactly what I needed to hear, what I needed to experience, what I needed to understand at that point. So she read this on Friday, and it's from the book It's in the form of a little bookmark here. And here's the little passage. But the name of the book is Even Eagles Need a Push, Learning to Soar in a Changing World. And let me just share these few words with you, if you'll allow me. The eagle gently coaxed her offspring toward the edge of the nest. Her heart quivered with conflicting emotions as she felt their resistance to her persistent nudging. Why does the thrill of soaring have to begin with the fear of falling, she thought. This ageless question was still unanswered for her. As in the tradition of the species, her nest was located high on the shelf of a sheer rock face. Below, there was nothing but air to support the wings of each child. Is it possible that this time it will not work, she thought. Despite her fears, the eagle knew it was time. Her parental mission was all but complete. There remained one final task, the push. The eagle drew courage from her innate wisdom. Until her children discovered their wings, there was no purpose for their lives. Until they learned how to soar, they would fail to understand the privilege it was to have been born an eagle. The push was the greatest gift she had to offer. It was her supreme act of love, and so, one by one, she pushed them, and they flew. Wow! 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 You talk about what I needed to hear right then, right there. A couple of sentences there just hung with me and have hung with me, and I think, cherish for the rest of my experience. God, for me in my life, in my experience, in my journey, my God is that mother eagle. And he recognizes that until I learn to soar, I will never know or understand what it means to have been born a child of God. And what has settled in me is a sense that God has brought me to this point. I know beyond the shadow of a doubt, that God has brought me to this point. And what I think this was just his way of helping to confirm for me and in me that, listen, my son, you are my son. You are my son. Don't you ever forget that. You were born my child. I am your father. And all the equipment that you need to soar is in you. I've placed it there. I've made you to soar. Now you have to soar. Yes, will you have to flap your wings? You better believe you will. Will you free fall sometime? You bet you will. But I've made you to soar, and I want you to soar. So, I am ready. I am ready. I feel so much more confident right now, not in my own ability, but I feel confident in where God has brought me to, where he's brought me from, and the fact that it is he that has brought me thus far, and that if he brought me this far, why would he not carry me on? Why would he not carry me on? And so I am thrilled to soar. I'm thrilled to begin to soar. Will there be a Gethsemane before me? Absolutely. Will there be a Calvary before me? Absolutely. But I believe that I am his beloved son, and he is well pleased. And so it's with that faith that I go forward, that I go to class tomorrow, that I enter this very first week of my very first semester of my very first year of medical school, and I go forward with confidence, and I go forward with gratitude and humility and thankfulness for God's provision and for the people who have who have been such an encouragement to me and my family over the days, weeks, months, and even years that have just passed by. And I don't want to call any names, but you know exactly who you are. You know exactly who you are. So I go forward. Tomorrow's the day. Let's see what else. Let's see. This one's 10 minutes long so far. Well, this is my last one before school starts. So I snorkeled for the very first time last night, and I went back and snorkeled again today. In fact, you can see see my snorkel gear back there. Okay, for those of y'all who have snorkeled before, how come you ain't told nobody about it? Okay, because that's some pretty cool stuff, right? Yeah, that's some pretty cool stuff. Under the water, they're a whole nother world, God's beautiful creation. So that was fun. Snorkel today. What else? What else is good? I've met some really good friends, some really spiritual people. Some hilarious, funny people like myself. But I think the semester's going to be good. So here goes. Here goes. Those of you who are praying friends of mine, please continue to keep me in prayer. Continue to keep my family in prayer as they are back in Nebraska. Gabriella is doing well. The kids are doing well. They're going to be joining me here in August. And so I'm looking forward to that. And anyhow, I'll let you know. I'll try to post regularly. A couple of people asked questions I wanted to answer. Let's see. I think I had one question. Aunt Jean, I think you asked about time zone, time difference. We are essentially on Eastern time zone here. Except in Dominica, they do not observe daylight savings time. So this fall, when all the clocks go back in the United States, the time will stay the same here. So come fall, we'll be an hour ahead of Eastern Standard Time. But right now, we're on the same time as Eastern Standard. Let's see, who else? Chris, I think you asked about... Did you ask about the language? You asked something about the people here. Everyone speaks English. Dominica is I think I mentioned before, Dominica was colonized by the French and the English. But they speak English, but they also speak Patois, Creole, the French, African, English kind of mix there. People are incredibly nice. But yeah, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to post them on my Facebook page or shoot me an email. And yeah, I would love to answer them. I think that's all the questions that people ask. If I forgot, I'm sorry. Ask me again, or I'll go try to look again. But yeah, I'll try to post more frequent. I'm sure I will. I'll let you know how my first day went. Let's see. Tomorrow we have 3 lectures tomorrow. We have 2 anatomy lectures. Both are on the back. One is on the vertebral column. The other is on muscles of the back. And we have a cell biology lecture tomorrow. So, anyhow, I will see you later. God bless.